YouTube, new family, what's going on? Daniel back, another video for the channel. I want to shoot this one as I just came back from an evening walk. This was on my conscience, so I had to speak into the camera, give it, to the world, mostly also to myself as a reminder. But really, it's understanding and reprogramming the whole thing about levels, um, and understanding what levels actually are. So, like I said, this is for the world, but also for myself, mostly for myself, because as I was lost and lost for a long time, from 21 to 24, 25, I was so heavily programmed to think and feel everything was outside of myself. Every level was outside of myself. In that area being women, I would have one thing, but always be searching for the next thing and think it's the next thing, and something external. And I thought abundance was always external. But as I got to the end of that stage of chasing women, having all those experiences, and now being at a place where I'm completely content and not tempted at all to do things for the world, for the devil, that tricks you and convinces you that it's always outside of yourself. But I understood and finally realized that levels are only internal. Levels, level ups, as they call it, and people saying the next level, it really is only internal. And the reason I say that is because power within, peace within, trust within, respect within, love within, those are level ups. You feeling better within yourself, like I said, trusting yourself more, having more love for yourself, appreciation for yourself, being able to be proud of yourself and the decisions you make, whether they're hard. Most would be hard, because it's a lot of suffering. It's a lot of doing things that don't give you instant gratification like you're used to. When you're in lust and chasing women, like I was always doing things for that quick nut, that quick girl, quick sex, quick feeling good, quick you could say status, so I can show the world, and I'm with girls and this lifestyle. Those are all decisions that were quick, easy decisions for the devil, and afterwards I never felt good. I never felt good, so what I tended to do was just chase more of that quick hit, that feeling, that drug that you think life is about, and you believe. You fall into the trap that is the devil selling you feelings. The devil selling you feelings is something that I was introduced to thanks to my coach, Mike. I'm actually going to shout him out below because we've done so much work together, and he's someone that is so aligned. And I've worked with various people in this space and met various people, but he is someone that truly I could say he makes the right decisions, and I feel he feels where I'm at, and I feel him growing every day. And he's someone that can help anybody in any position. He was able to anticipate the falls of some big people in the industry, just the conversations we've had, and we've built a very good connection. So this was he's gonna watch this video, I'm assuming. But yeah, I want to shout him out because he's helped me so much to understand these things, and get me out of those feelings and things that I thought were real. And with lust especially, it's the one that's sold most to the world. It's something that men fall into, and if they don't have those habits that build them within, and build that power and that trust and that confidence and that love, and that level, and build those levels within themselves, and it's so easy to fall into that and believe it's the girl you see on social media, or the one you're going to DM and meet for a date, and you're doing all these things to essentially just sleep with women and get that feeling, that quick casual sex feeling. And you believe, like, people around you as well believe it's a level up. You show off these people like I used to, and oh, I slept with this one, closed this one, blah blah blah. But you get the little hit, but afterwards your baseline naturally drops. You within don't feel stronger. You don't feel proud, or love within yourself. You realize that you just gave all your power to something external and put this as above me, and I did this, so I'm this person. You try to attach yourself to that. It's all completely fake. And like I said, the level ups, when you remove those distractions and those things, and stop listening to your ego and letting this lifestyle or thing, this stage you believe is eternal, and you're creating all these stories in your head and following all these things you believe are real. When you let that go and you realize it doesn't help you, and you actually begin to connect, align yourself, open your eyes, your true eyes, the ones that God gave you to, look up and put faith in, and what you don't see, you see with those eyes, not the eyes of this world that believe external things are what give you levels up, then you start to really see where the level up is. And for me, it's all internal. Like the way I feel now, I never felt when I was chasing women, no matter how many women I slept with in a year, or in a night, in a day, on a weekend, on a trip. The experience that I had, multiple girls, sex clubs, all these things I used to brag about. I never felt as good as I do now. Sitting in a room, speaking into a camera with, no distractions around, no people, external things that, I was chasing before. It's simply me in power sending you a message to see, like I said, my younger self, but those that are in that space, and those that are in ego and believe their ego and think that their ego is what's going to guide them to that, that promised land or that feeling, that ultimate euphoria. It's all fake. There's no euphoria. It's, do you have peace within yourself? Do you trust yourself? And do you believe that everything that you seek for is external? You have to begin to see that your dependency on the external is what's bringing you into low frequency. You're not able to attract things when you're in that low space. I was not able to attract anybody when I was in a low frequency of just chasing and thinking it's this or that. But now that I've removed that, and like I said, one more shout out to my brother, Mike, for that, removing all those things that I was attaching myself to and creating feelings around and identities and an ego. When I remove all those things, even though it was hard and, I didn't always want to, and sometimes those relationships or people, that I've had for a long time in my life, when I remove those things out of trust in myself and love for myself and power for myself, that's when I truly saw, with the real eyes that were given to us, the eyes of the spirit, not the eyes of the ego, the eyes of the world, and the eyes that, confuse you and make you think it's always outside of yourself. When you flip the script and realize it's all within, and stop listening to the noise and people, competing and comparing and asking you, what would you add this year? Like always, everyone's looking at, what everyone's adding, the new thing, always society is always giving you something else to add. It could be AI, chat GPT, stocks, investments. Everyone's like, add this, add that. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, let me hop on this. And no one is able to be grounded within themselves and know that they have the ultimate teammate, the one that never fails you, God. And when you have that alignment and have that conscience, you're able to make choices in faith, choices in trust and love, and know that they're going to guide you to the path He has for you. Because you watching have a gift, have something you're called here to do, and it's not listening to, the eyes of this world, the eyes of the devil, the eyes of your ego, and just going for flesh and quick desires and gratification and porn and masturbation and women and all these quick highs, like a small child essentially. It's, you have something that requires to a point suffering, but it's your gift. It's something that you were born here to do, and your specific blueprint is what God put together to bring into this world, to give to this world. You have something to give to this world, and that's why your conscious brought you to this video. And you're watching this now because you're called for something higher. And like I said, I speak to my younger self when I say this, because I'm in a position now that I wouldn't have seen myself in 4 or 5 years ago, when I was fully in this and didn't need this, and I was like this selfish, egotistical person, and thought I could do everything by myself and thought I was my own God. And now it's complete opposite, and realize where all the power comes from. But it's really a 180 in discovering that everything I thought was external is actually internal. And when you're desiring things outside of yourself, you're in a low frequency. It's not a high frequency to think you need some flesh or some party or some vice, or you feel horny, so you have to go call some girl or go masturbate or go watch porn and get a quick nut. That's not high frequency behavior. High frequency is being abundant, being in love, not needing anything back. It's really just giving and not expecting anything in return, and doing it abundantly, because it's all within. Like I said, you don't need a promise of something external to give you power within. It's really understanding who you are and removing enough things to understand who you are, removing all the distractions. And for me, it was like removing so many different things, and then just really getting to who is Daniel. Who is Daniel in terms of all angles, spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, but mostly spiritually, because everything is spiritual. Everything comes from where you don't see. And like I said, the eyes of the world, the eyes of the ego distract you to the eyes that God gave you, um, and the eyes that can see where most people aren't looking, especially now. So it's one big distraction if you really begin to live this lifestyle. And you can follow my Instagram. I post my life every day and the habits and what helps me grow. And it's only those that have the eyes, that God gave them and that can see will understand where the growth is coming from. You see me grow within, power within me grow. You see the people around me grow. Like I said, my brother Mike, who grows every day, and I grow alongside him. And it's really just removing the distractions that are around you and not needing to fit in and impress people and needing validation and pats on the back by those around you. And you realize that you do these things with women and lust and all these things that you think give you status for what other people will think about you. It's not even about yourself. And I realized that I was always doing it for getting applause from this person or getting validation from these people, and it was never actually for myself, and it never actually gave me power within. But I thought if I had that validation from somebody, it would give me what I needed, but I never did, and I never felt power within. And it went to a point where I met the devil. There's another video about that, and yeah, it gave me all the lessons I needed to be here now. And like I said, speak to my younger self and tell him, but also tell you watching, that it's not outside yourself. It's not in that next experience. If you have 2 girls right now, it's not going to be 3 girls, in your rotation, or you have 1 girl and now you want to have 3 sons. It's not in that, or it's not in this external thing, this external battle. It's about removing and realizing that you're in a trap of comparison, competing, and the devil literally is just like walking you around like a puppet and making you believe that the next thing is going to, bring you that feeling you want. Everyone's just chasing feelings at the end of the day. It's really crazy, but once you understand that everyone just chases feelings and stories they create in their head, and reality is simply just neutral, you just add feelings to it, either positive or negative, and create this whole circus euphoria like vision in your head of what's you can control to get that feeling. It's all the devil playing with you. When you're in spirit, you don't need visions or thinking or any kind of show going on in your head. You simply just know you're in peace, you're aligned. And when you're in spirit, you're like a kid. You see a kid, desiring or stressed and like, oh, I need this. Like, I'm not gonna be happy. Like, kids are smiling, kids are in the moment, kids are in spirit, kids laugh, they play, they joke around, they're high frequency. And then, there's no fear there. There's no judgment of themselves. They're not trying to control things or, trying to plan their next level. Hey guys, they're all huddled around. What's the next level? It's all spiritual. So this message had to be sent, and I still have crazy energy within me as I'm sending this, but it's truly crazy. So like I said, so end of the video cut out a bit, but essentially it was just shutting out my brother Mike again. You see his stuff down below. Crazy connection we got, and it's just wisdom that we get from above. We just align ourselves. And it sounds like ego, it sounds like I'm making it up, but really there's many times that I've spoken, said things, especially on my stories on Instagram, and it feels like it's not me, because it isn't. It's just simply making yourself a vessel for the one that brought you here, created you, and put you here with a purpose, and really everything else aligns. So like I said, there is my Instagram, his Instagram as well, Next Level Spiritual Coaching he offers. Mine is obviously more towards those lost in lust and escaping that lie that you've been living for however long it is. Doesn't matter, everything's perfect, but realizing that it's not the way. The way is looking up and not down, and listening to your ego and allowing it to guide you to these stories that you believe are real. So like I said, it's all internal, really is. It's putting in the work, the habits that make you proud of yourself, that make you love yourself, and removing. The more you remove, the more you get to the core of who you are, of that spirit that wants to guide you. And really it's next level. But when you're in ego and are being guided by lust, it's hard to comprehend. But anyways, you guys will see everything below. Hope you guys got value, some wisdom, and like I said, you'll be able to catch me, the habits, the lifestyle, And as well, you can send me a DM. We can speak and see where you're at with everything in terms of your life. If you're beginning, if you're advanced, intermediate, I can have a call with you and instantly know exactly where you are, what you need to do, and how you can begin to align yourself to be, the chosen person you are, to live the life of purpose you're meant to live. But anyways, I hope you guys got value. Once again, God bless. And as always, until next time, keep killing it.